A question we're often asked is how to fletch medieval arrows. This modern jig shown here is a 6-inch Sherwood jig. A fletch is placed into the clamp and then placed onto the shaft and allowed to glue and set. Once this is dry, it can be removed. Simply turn to the next position and so on. The arrow we're using here is already completed to show you where the positioning of feathers normally goes. This is all well and good for smaller modern fletchers, but as you can see from this picture, this doesn't help us with the medieval arrow. The long fletches of a medieval arrow simply just don't fit into a modern jig. Hence we made the Big Jig, a simple wooden jig large enough for medieval arrows. To begin using the jig, simply place your shaft into the V's of the uprights at either end of the jig. To help hold this in position before you put the clamp on, use an elastic band as shown here. To get the positioning of the feathers correct on the shaft, there are 3 points marked at the end. We use a simple wooden pointer that goes into the nock slot and points at position 1. Make sure this is correct, as this will be your cock fletch. To get the best position for your feathers on the shaft, it's best to make a mark on the clamp. Simply place the clamp into the jig as if you were putting the feather onto the shaft. Then get a pencil or pen and mark at the bottom of the insert of your nock slot, say an inch or so down from the end of the slot. You're now ready to put on your first fletch. Pinch the clamp and push the feather in between the blades, using the mark you made. We're going to use super glue as it speeds the process up, and as these are going to be medieval style arrows, they're going to be bound on with linen thread after we've put the fletchings on and cut them to shape. Simply run a line of whichever glue you choose to use along the cut and pre-ground quill of the feather. Then simply and carefully place the clamp into the slots at the top of the jig and push it comfortably down onto the shaft. If, like us, you're using super glue which dries through pressure, it's best to put an elastic band around the whole jig. After about 15 seconds, the super glue should be dry. Remove the band and carefully begin to remove the clamp. Pinch at the top and lift. And there we have our first feather attached. Move the pointer onto position 2, ready for your next feather. And repeat the process. And repeat with position 3. You should now have all 3 fletches attached to the shaft. When your last feather is dry, remove the clamp as shown earlier. and if all has gone well, you should end up with an arrow with all 3 feathers attached in the correct positions. Remove the pointer at the end and carefully take the arrow out of the jig. Your feathers are now ready for cutting to shape.